A single hit can change a game, but some hits change the entire National Hockey League forever. We're talking about the kind of collisions that made arenas go silent, players lose control, and fans argue for years about whether it was hockey or just pure chaos. These are the 20 most brutal fouls in NHL history. Stanley Cup Final, tie game, third period, perfect moment for chaos. Wilson lines up Marchessault out of nowhere. Blindside hit, Marchessault down, crowd furious and no suspension in the final. Because NHL discipline works in mysterious ways. And if that felt messy, the next one isn't a hit. It's straight up revenge. Nick Cousins throws a hit from behind on Erik Goodbranson. Dirty, late, and the kind of play that makes you think, yeah, this isn't over. Goodbranson didn't wait for the league. He grabbed Cousins, slammed him down, started throwing punches, and the arena went nuts. Goodbranson gets suspended. Cousins barely does. Totally makes sense, right? You want playoff hockey toughness? 2010 gave us a moment where most people would call an ambulance. NHL players call a line change. Duncan Keith took a puck to the face, lost half his teeth, skated to the bench, spat them out like sunflower seeds, and went right back out. Chicago was one win from the final, and Keith basically said, "Teeth are temporary. Stanley Cups are forever." Have you ever seen a hit so clean it almost looks choreographed? 2021 had one of those, just with way more pain. Charlie McAvoy launched Josh Anderson across the ice like physics stopped caring. Anderson popped back up, but his eyes said he just saw 3 scoreboards at once. Beautiful hit, brutal result, the kind Bruins fans replay with a smile. Different game, same energy, because Dmitry Orlov once turned a routine rush into a physics lesson. Matt Duchene thought he had a lane. Orlov thought otherwise. Shoulder down, timing perfect. Boom, Duchene airborne like he just got drafted into a superhero movie. Clean, brutal, and replayed about 1,000,000 times for a reason. And if you think that was rough, you clearly haven't watched enough Rangers hockey. Nazem Kadri skated into the zone, and Trouba introduced him to the concept of sudden stop. Helmet flying, flames jumping in, punches thrown, the full NHL package. When the dust settled, everyone remembered one thing. Don't skate with your head down near Trouba. And just when you think rivalry games can't get any more violent, Capitals versus Penguins says hello. Brooks Orpik steamrolled Olli Määttä like a wrecking ball with skates. Määttä got back up because of course he did. This is the NHL, not figure skating. Fans were roaring, benches were fired up, and nobody on the ice forgot that hit. Moving on, playoff hockey in 2015 gave us one of those hits where you instantly grab your own wrist in sympathy. Dustin Byfuglien absolutely crushed Mark Stone, and Stone left with a microfracture like a souvenir nobody asked for. The hit was so heavy it probably shook family trees back in Canada. Ottawa's playoff hopes? Yeah, they felt that too. But if you think modern hits are rough, let's rewind to 2012 when Shea Weber reminded everyone glass isn't just for decoration. Weber slammed Henrik Zetterberg into the boards so hard the sound echoed like a church bell. Somehow, Zetterberg kept playing, because hockey players apparently run on pain and stubbornness. Not pretty, not gentle, but very playoff hockey. But you know, a hit crossed the line when the whole bench jumps up before the ref even raises his arm. That's exactly what happened when Corey Perry got involved. Perry caught Ryan Ellis up high with a nasty elbow, and the Predators' bench exploded like someone hit the alarm button. Fans booing, players yelling for 5 minutes, refs scrambling. Yeah, that wasn't just a penalty. That was a reputation moment. Next up, Game 7. Rangers versus Devils, the kind of night where one hit can flip the entire series. And Trouba saw his moment. Timo Meier lost balance for half a second, and Trouba turned that half second into an earthquake. No call, Devils losing their minds, and the replay looked like the ice had a shockwave setting. That wasn't a hit. That was a warning.
Jackson.
Now here's where things get weird, because sometimes a big hit turns into something nobody expected. Morgan Reilly drilled Braden Point into the boards, and suddenly the game turned into fight night. Austin Matthews and Steven Stamkos dropping gloves? Yeah, that actually happened. 2 60-goal scorers throwing punches. Only in hockey, folks. Moving on. You know those hits where the whole arena goes silent before the replay even starts? Yeah, this was one of those. Aaron Rome stepped up and delivered a brutal open ice hit that broke a face and nearly broke the mood of the entire building. Just the kind of collision that reminds you hockey is basically controlled chaos on ice. Think that was bad? Wait till you see what happens when full speed meets bad luck at the worst possible angle. John Tavares charged in, got knocked down, and then because the hockey gods love drama, caught a skate to the face. Totally accidental, still terrifying. When the refs start waving for medical staff like they're flagging a cab, you know it's serious. Now, do you think NHL suspensions are bad? Try running straight into a referee and then explaining it to the league office. Dennis Weidman smoked linesman Don Henderson at center ice, then said he didn't see him. The league saw it just fine, 20-game suspension, no pay. In hockey terms, that's the kind of mistake your bank account remembers forever. And just when you think these moments can't get scarier, 2012 gave us one that made the whole league go quiet. Rafi Torres launched into Marian Hossa with a hit that froze the arena. Hossa was stretchered off, Torres was suspended 25 games, and his wallet was hurting almost as much as his reputation. Now that's a lifetime reminder. But the NHL doesn't stop at scary. Sometimes it goes straight into crime scene territory. Marty McSorley swung his stick like he forgot this wasn't baseball. And suddenly, the league wasn't just handing out penalties, Canada's court system got involved. Probation, suspension, reputation gone. Turns out, 2 minutes for slashing hits different when a judge says it. And just when you think you've seen every possible injury hockey can invent, here comes the nightmare fuel. Erik Karlsson took one step, and his Achilles basically said, "I'm out." Nearly severed, instant pain, stick tossed, season wrecked. 1 second, you're skating like an all-star. The next second, it feels like a horror movie with skates. But even that doesn't touch what happened in '93 back when revenge hits were basically a personality trait. Dale Hunter got mad after a giveaway, waited for Pierre Turgeon to celebrate, then drilled him from behind. Cheap, late, ugly. Turgeon was hurt. The league was furious, and Hunter earned one of the longest suspensions of that era for a hit nobody forgot. But you know a hit is bad when the crowd stops yelling and just stares. That's exactly what happened in 2014 with Keith Ballard. Ballard got driven hard into the glass against the Islanders, head taking the worst of it. The concussion was so serious that doctors warned another one could mean permanent damage. No comeback, no last game, just like that, his NHL career was over. So, which hit do you think was the most brutal? And did we miss one that still makes you wince every time you see it? Drop it in the comments. And hey, if you're a real hockey fan and not a Zamboni in disguise, hit subscribe and join the squad.